nervous.
I don't believe it. How is this possible?
Between Charlie can't change her name and Patty, Patty has somehow got Gail.
Okay, now I have the screen, the main screen that Lori has up. And okay, bingo. Okay, I got it. Now Gail is in the grid with the rest of us. Okay. That was weird.
Hi,
Hi,
Cheryl,
Cheryl.
welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. And somebody from 23991. I
That's
don't know.
Charlotte.
Oh, that's Charlotte. Okay, all right. Okay.
Sorry.
That's her iPad number, I think, or something.
I had a moment of panic that 23,991 people had entered.
Oh, I've got to call Sylvia and tell her it's time. Come on, girl. She called me to say she was doing it.
All right.
All right.
All right. I am trying to admit people. There we go. Admit, not view. Okay, view.
If you want to go ahead and share,
Sylvia's coming and Mary Jo Meadow, they're joining. You're muted, Patty.
Yeah, I had to call Sylvia. Okay.
Okay.
I want to show you my t-shirt before we get started. This t-shirt says, the best things in life are not things. This is what my family gave me for my birthday.
I like it. I like it. Cool.
I begged them. I sent an email. I said, please do not buy me anything for my birthday because it's my 80th birthday this month. We always celebrate my birthday at the beach. So they said, oh, you know, nobody really said anything. And I thought, oh, they're going to cheat. They're going to do something. And we went to the aquarium to show little Lily, who's 2 years old, the aquarium. And they, oh, look at the wall they have for donors, dedicated donors. And on the wall, is
upside down. Turn it the other way, Patty.
It reads backwards to us because we're on the screen. Patty, can you read it to us?
Wait a minute.
Says,
Flip it the other way.
I think I can,
it's a mirror image, that's all.
let me see.
Well, it's also upside down, so.
It says happy birthday.
I don't see where choose virtual background, choose video filter, where's reverse? You know what I mean? Mirror.
It says mirror.
I'll unmirror. I've just unmirrored. Okay, so you should be able
Okay, now try it.
You still
you
need
read
to
it?
flip it the right way. Flip it.
I can read it anyway.
There you
Oh, there we go.
Many years of
OBX.
Outer Banks. That's the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And this is, I am AP, Aunt Patty. Donna said to me they were only allowed to have so many characters. So they just used AP is what she puts on when she sends me emails. Dear AP.
Okay.
Aunt Patty.
Very nice.
There's a replica of this turtle on the big wall, one of the big walls at one of the entrances of the museum. And because I basically rent the summer house that the whole gang comes to every year. I've been doing that since 1993, since for my parents' 50th anniversary, their 50th wedding anniversary, because they didn't want any presents. So I said, fine, we'll just all get together. And the family has been getting bigger and bigger, so we have to have a bigger and bigger house every year. Every year. It's 11
Well,
years, and we
next
just
year,
keep
I
getting-
want to be considered family.
Well, and Patty, tell us, you're turning 80. When exactly are you turning 80? And congratulations.
On August the 25th.
The
August 25th.
25th.
I'll be 80 next time you see me on first Sundays. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
God. Mhm.
Okay, I think we
Yeah,
should
okay.
begin.
Yes, I think we should begin. Also, Sylvia is here. Okay.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our first Sundays honoring creation and traditions in image, stillness, word, song, and dance. This is an interfaith worship experience. It's an active experience where we invite you to participate in ways that make you feel comfortable. Gallery view is the best way to see everyone. You can make gallery larger or smaller by sliding the double line in the center of your screen to the left or to the right. If you don't understand how to do this, please raise your hand. One of us will help you with that. And you can find your chat box button at the bottom of your screen, hopefully, and we will be using it when we do some small group sharing later, and we will be using it early on when we introduce ourselves to each other. And hopefully we will have time for sharing in small groups, and usually this gathering lasts about 60 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. Okay, so what is creation spirituality? Creation spirituality is honoring all of creation as original blessing. Creation spirituality integrates the wisdom of Eastern and Western spirituality and global indigenous cultures with the emerging scientific understanding of the universe and the passion of creativity. It is both a tradition and a movement celebrated by mystics and agents of social change from every age and culture. It is also the tradition of the historical Jesus himself, since it is the wisdom tradition of Israel. And first, we will start by welcoming each other. And the way that we do this now will be that you can introduce yourself out loud and then, pass it to somebody else, or just wait and the next person can just jump right in. So please introduce yourself by stating the name that you wish to be called, the pronouns you would like used to refer to you, where on the planet you are speaking from, the names of the ancestors who live or have lived on the land you reside on today. If you are uncomfortable introducing yourself aloud, you may use the chat box to introduce yourself. And if you need help knowing who your ancestors are on the land that you live on, you can download the app called native-land.ca, and you enter your location and it will tell you the ancestors that lived on the land before you. So I am Lori Crockett, and I live in Winchester, Virginia, and I live on the land of the Shawnee and the Manahoac, and my pronouns are she and her. And I will pass to whoever wants to speak next.
Well, I'll speak up, and I just want to do a shout out here to Mary Jo. It's thanks to you that we've moved this process up earlier in our service, and we're speaking out because I think you suggested that at one point. So thank you for that suggestion so many weeks ago. We have integrated that, and we do welcome your suggestions. I'm Carolyn Millian. I'm from Alameda, California, from the Ohlone peoples. I use Kikin as my non-binary pronouns from Ramingwal Kimmerer. I do think a lot of the problems we have with one another is these artificial things that we put out there, and binary language can contribute to that. So my chosen pronouns are Ki and Kin.
Okay, I'm Mary Jo. I'm speaking to you from Forest Lake, Minnesota. A number of groups were settled here, but I have friends among the Dakotas, so I mention the Dakota. I'm a she and have always been a she. And I thank you for letting people talk and having us able to see their face while they're talking. I I quit. I tried several times and quit because everything was funneled through the leaders. And I like to be more in interaction with people. So I'm glad I decided to check in again and see if you had more interaction.
Thanks, Mary Jo. I'm Patty McGrath from Potomac, Maryland. Patty from Potomac. I live on the land of the Manahoac, same tribe as Lori, but pretty far away, up to the edge of the Potomac. They extended. But then on the other side of the Potomac River was the Piscataway Conoy peoples. The Piscataway went from here, from Virginia, actually, all the way north to New Jersey. And they had little clans. So we're the Conoy clan of the Piscataway Indians, Native Americans. And I use she, her pronouns, and pass it off to Charlotte.
Okay. My name is Charlotte Million, and a slight relationship to Carolyn. And well, I'm the oldest. I'm the older sister. And she, her, and I realized this. I'm in Frisco, Texas, and I don't know who the ancestors were here. I have to go look that up. And the native land. I know there's a lot of oil here, and that caused a lot of interest by many people. So I can't think of anything else. Carolyn, do you know something I don't?
Yeah, I do know that you just had a birthday, and so it's appropriate to just say happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, I'm Enid Mackin from Santa Rosa, California, and it's the land of the Pomo Indians. And my pronouns are she and her. I had joined a couple of times several months ago, and had a Sunday afternoon just now, and thought and had gotten a message and thought I'll join you today.
My name is Charlie. I am in Southeast Missouri on the land of the Osage. My pronouns are they, she, and I'm very happy to be here.
I'm Sylvia Duss. I live near Patty in Potomac, Maryland, and my pronouns are she and her. I live on the land of the Piscataway.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl. I'm in Seattle, Washington, and Seattle was named after Chief Sealth, and Chief Sealth was in the Duwamish tribe, and the Duwamish is still not recognized federally, interestingly enough. So I am on the unceded land of the Coast Salish people. Coast Salish is kind of a large umbrella term for the many people of the Puget Sound area.
Hello, my name is Rebecca, and I'm in San Francisco, and it's home of the Ohlone people.
Welcome everyone. We're glad you're here. And I will turn it over to Charlie.
Every month, we like to focus on one of the 12 principles of creation spirituality. And this month, we are on principle 8. Every one of us is a prophet. Our prophetic work is to interfere with all forms of injustice and that which interferes with authentic life. And we get to be here all day and for the rest of the week talking about that.
But instead, we'll be limiting our conversation to our first Sundays. And so our content today is on prophecy. We will be talking about the power of our voice and being prophets, and also in our actions, and also the power of saying no. And many of us will, for today's content, be turning to Matthew Fox as to lead us out with that.
Thank you, Carolyn. All right, at this time, We want to welcome everyone here and let us move more deeply into our connection with our Creator, our source. You're invited to take a few slow, deep breaths. Invite your body to relax and to soften anything that has become too tight within. Shake yourself out a bit. Become more comfortable in your skin. Put your feet flat on the floor or the ground if you can. Follow the rising and falling of your breath. Center in your personal rhythm. Invite yourself in your own way to turn your awareness toward the vital life force of the within and all around you, and the vital love force that binds the universe together. Hold a moment in stillness with me. Let the stillness surround you. Invite yourself to become present to the deep reservoir of life that resides in this stillness. As a symbol of our renewed connection with our Creator, if it feels comfortable to you, we invite you to light a candle. Light a real candle, or hold the picture of a candle, or find a candle on your cell phone, or simply imagine your thumb as a candle and imagine lighting it. There we go. All of these lights remind us of the one light, the first light, our connection to the beginning, the great flaring forth of creation. We now acknowledge this light and remember that everything in the known universe has its origin in a single point of light. We all stand together in the light of creation. And at this time, we're going to honor the directions. And you could do this seated, or you can stand up. Any way that you want to do this, you can turn. You can use your rolling chair to turn around, whatever you need to do to participate in this. And this one is adapted from a prayer for the 6 directions, and it's a prayer in the Celtic tradition. So first, let us face the east, where the sun rises each day. As you do, reflect on anything that is new or emerging in your life. Let us turn and face the south, where the sun shines the strongest, and which symbolizes summer and warmth. Reflect on the people, events, and things that warm your life or help you grow. Now let's turn to face the west, where the sun sets each evening. As you do, consider anything that is coming to a close in your life. Now let's turn to face the north, where the sun's light can be scarce and winters are cold. Reflect on challenges or difficulties you face in your life, past or present. Now, let us reach down and touch the ground. Let us think of the earth on which we live, the ancestors from which we come, and all that sustains our lives. Let's reach toward the sky, reflecting on our hopes and dreams and the mystery of faith. And this prayer comes from Ireland, and it's geared towards living in the Northern Hemisphere. So hopefully that worked for everyone that is here today. And I will pass to Carolyn for body prayer.
Thank you, Lori. And for body prayer, I don't know if we got any lyrics set up. Did we happen to get any lyrics set up or no, Lori? No. All right, I did send some lyrics out, but I'll just share them with you and hopefully you'll be able to remember them. This is based on a song that probably many of you know, This Little Light of Mine. And I'm changing a little bit the words here. So I'm just going to give I think you probably all know This Little Light of Mine, but I'm going to sing it anyway in the hopes that it helps remind you what it sounds like. And then I have a verse I'm going to teach you for the first body prayer, and then we'll go through a new verse for the second body prayer. So the first, this is all based on, and if you know this, please, is everyone muted? I see not everyone is muted. If you're not muted, please mute yourself. There are a few of you who are still not muted. So we are going to ask you to mute, but I do want you to sing along with me. And so our songs will converge, and even though we can't hear each other necessarily, our songs will still entrain and we'll be joining together in this body prayer. So this is all based on this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I think most of you know that, yes? Does anyone not know that song? Everyone seems to know it pretty well. Okay, well, today we're talking about justice. And when we talk about justice, we're talking about power. We're talking about the third chakra here. The third chakra is where we get our energy for fighting against injustice. And so that's where our fire, at least for me, that's where my fire is centered. I know Matt talks about this as well. So the words to this new verse that we're going to learn, I'll just say the words. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth like living waters, living waters, living waters. All right. So let's sing that all together. You ready? We're going to do the verse together. Actually, you don't need to hear me sing it first. So I think you can sing along with me. There's so much repetition. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth like living waters. That's what you need to remember. All right. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth like living waters, living waters, living waters. Now, this is body prayer. It's not sit and soul prayer, it's body prayer. So even if you're sitting, we still want you to do some body movement. And so I'm going to stand up for this. When I think about this little light of mine, now, of course, we have all worked a lot with Michael Mansfield, who normally does our body prayer, and there's always an open invitation for you to come up with your own movements for what feels right for you. For me, when I think about this little light of mine, actually what I was thinking about is how I would even just light my own little light. Here I am, a little candle, I'm lighting myself. So for myself, I was thinking this little light of mine, and I'm lighting myself. Well, after I light myself, I'm gonna let it shine. I don't know about you, but I want to dance around when I'm shining. So this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So let's do that together, all right? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And now we get to move to the verse. And for the verse, again, I talked a little bit earlier about how power comes from our third chakra. We get a fire in our third chakra, a fire that demands justice. And so that's where we're coming from with this body prayer. For me, I've got fire coming out of my third chakra, this little fire of mine, and it's coming up. My chakras is coming out my throat chakra. And what happens? Justice will spring forth. It comes from our heart. It comes from our voice. It comes from all of us. Justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth like living waters, living waters, living waters. All right, let's do that. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth. This little fire of mine, justice will spring forth like living waters, living waters, living waters. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, thank you. And now we're going to move into, I think, 6.
To Charlie for Start Where You Are.
We have so we have joined together in a virtual circle. We have opened the conscious connection to our Creator. We have enlivened and embodied our spirituality through body prayer. And now we come to a chance for each and every one of us to start where we are, to name that which is so for us right now, and to take stock of what is present with us in this moment especially. You can either speak your truth out or add it to the chat box, whichever feels more genuine to you. We ask that you be respectful of what you learn from someone else and hold confidentiality to our circle. As a way of honoring where we are, the responses from the chat will be read aloud. Take a moment of stillness with me to notice what you are bringing to this time of connection and community. As we walk down the first path of awe, gratitude, and wonder, where have you experienced those things this week? Where have you seen awe, experienced wonder, or gratitude?
The delights of a family gathering, renewed hope for the election, the wonderful support of my family, all showing up at the animal shelter to help me choose a cat. I'm grateful for the voice I have to share hope and teach. The cooling rain this week. Hydrangeas, fuchsias. Support from my family and friends. Labyrinth walks. Deep gratitude for a music concert I attended this week that featured music by Joni Mitchell, Carol King, and Carly Simon. Grateful to make it through another year. Friends, swimming with friends.
And as we turn to walk down the second path, where in your life have you experienced darkness, letting go, mystery, or loss this week? You can name any darkness, mystery, grief, or loss, or things that you do not understand. This is a place to mention any grief, sadness, regret, or loss of others that is stirring your heart.
Venezuela, sadness over climate change, anticipatory grief over upcoming retirement. My dear friend Lori Brady Newman going into hospice care in her last days with us. I let go of an opportunity that broke my heart to do so, but it was the right decision to make. Bangladesh. Changes resulting from nerve damage and recent surgery. Loss of glaciers in the Olympic Mountains and the Cascade Mountains. That's my comment above. Okay, I'll go back up and see Charlotte. Let's see. My daughter's stomach cancer and the darkness of her eyes.
And in the midst of such change, we are called in different ways to give birth to new creations. Please name one or two places where you have been called to give, to create, the places where you are being called to expand your creativity. This is also a place to mention others who are giving birth to new things and express your support for them.
Stepping up to work on this upcoming election. The gift of creating a podcast with my husband and joy of building it together. Helping a friend who is terminal. So many people in our midst, so dedicated. Haleo Ching, Mel Bricker, many prayer warriors.
You're muted.
All the negotiators working in secret for peace and healing, many working to help the homeless, creating the public will and the political will to end hunger and poverty. So many people in our midst, so dedicated, Kaleo Ching, Mel Bricker, and so many prayer warriors, helping a friend who is terminal. The gift of creating the podcast with my husband and the joy of building it together.
And now as we turn onto the fourth path, this is a place to name the transformations taking place in ourselves and in others. It is also a place to honor transformation taking place in our culture, our earth, our social institutions, and our deepest understandings. It is also a place to name and remember the transformers who have inspired us.
Time of reckoning. Trying always to put principles before personalities. Recording memories for the family and letting go of artifacts that are part of the history. Dorothy Stang, MLK, Gandhi, Howard Thurman. Jeremy Taylor, who taught us the wisdom of dreams. The awakening I see in the community, with so many starting to take subtle and open action for justice and healing. Transformers, Thomas Berry, Teilhard de Chardin, Ilia Delio.
Like you to join me now in a moment of deep prayer. Infinite love, eternal source, never-ending wisdom. Our physical bodies are born of stardust. Our immortal being lives in the breath of our Creator. We are the beloved children of the One. You hold and welcome us as we are, your blessed and beloved creation. You join us in the times we are filled with awe, wonder, and gratitude for the rains, for the joys of swimming in the summer heat, for the gatherings as we come together. You comfort and connect us when we feel alone through loss, through letting go of opportunities, the eventual letting go of friends and family, and for letting go of the pain that affects us in our bodies and in helping others to endure and let go of the pain that they are feeling in themselves. You inspire us to bring forth essential medicine for the soul. You offer creativity and healing that rejuvenates us. In the dramatic change that a simple decision can make, in the awakening of hope within us, in the inspiring actions that we see all around us. You call us to justice making and to live beyond ourselves in service of the community that we are a part of, in teaching, in talking, in taking action, direct and subtle, through our prayers, through the people that we talk to and those that we connect with, as we try to bring justice and peace into this world that needs it so badly. You embrace us just as we are in this moment. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'd like to also raise a member of Creation Spirituality Communities who would have been with us tonight, but she is extremely ill and in pain, and that is Elda Louisi. She was at the gathering in Cape Cod, and so Elda would have been with us tonight, but she's really not feeling up to it. I promised I would raise her in prayer.
Good.
All right, thank you for that, Patty. Well, I think it comes time now for us to light our light again, get our candle glowing again, and move on to our second body prayer. And so to do that, I'm going to go ahead and stand up here and have us do a little review of this little light of mine so we can get our bodies working, our voices working, and get back engaged here with our bodies. So let's do the course again together, and then we'll go through our new verse. Okay? And hopefully everybody is muted. Looks like we are. Good. All right. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, and now for our second verse, we're talking about prophecy today. And so our second verse is, this prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. Let the ark of justice be forever true. Let's say that together. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. Let the ark of justice be forever true. That last line is, let the ark of justice be forever true. And so when we're looking at how to incorporate this into body prayer, well, now we're talking about the fifth chakra. We're talking about bringing our speech out. Earlier, we were talking about the third chakra and our power. Now we're talking about utilizing our fifth chakra and our speech. So for me, this prophet's speech of mine, well, of course, it's going to come from our mouths, right? This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. So for me, I'm interfering, I'm coming in contact with injustice, and I'm stamping it out, will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. Well, of course, let the ark of justice be forever true. Let the ark for justice be forever true. We're going to have an ark there. Let the ark for justice be forever true. Alluding, of course, to MLK's statement about the ark of justice over the long haul leads us to a place of true justice. So let's put that together. Let's sing it together. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. Let the ark of justice be forever true. Again, this prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet's speech of mine will interfere with injustice. This prophet speech of mine will interfere with injustice. Let the ark of justice be forever true. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you. All right, and so now we will be moving into sacred readings, and Lori.
Yes. So I'm going to present a video that Matt Fox put online a few weeks ago. Although when we started talking about this 8th principle being about prophets and his belief and statement, our principle, every one of us is a prophet. There were a few things that I remembered from the most recent daily meditations that I get from Matt Fox online. And one of the things I was saying was Matt Fox, as all of us, according to this philosophy, are prophets. And he spoke a couple of weeks ago, suggesting that perhaps Biden remove himself from the running of as a presidential primary. And I'm not getting into politics with this. I just want to let you know that when he did so, he lost a lot of subscribers to the daily meditation. And this is what sometimes happens when people speak the truth to power. When people speak up, not everyone agrees with it. You might lose some people. And then he went on to say in some more recent daily meditations, he was talking about the depression and sadness so rampant in young people today. And then when Biden did step aside, he said he felt that there was this emotional shift, that hope has returned to our culture, our young people, etc. And that's a very prophetic thing for him to say. And so he mentioned that, the hope, and he said, above all, one feels a sense of uplift and spirit happening. And the last thing he said, are we undergoing a moment like that? Is it some hope returning for our species, for the planet we love, and for democracy that's so in need of fixing? And so I wanted to provide his take on what a prophet is.
I want to share with you some more understandings of the term. I want to share with you some more understandings of the term prophet. Thomas Merton, the great Catholic monk, said, a prophet is one who cuts through great tangled knots of lies. Tangled knots of lies. In other words, a prophet is in pursuit of truth and is not afraid to tell the truth, including speaking truth to power. Hildegard of Bingen, the great 12th century Benedictine abbess, says, who are the prophets? They are a royal people who penetrate mystery and see with the Spirit's eyes. In illuminating darkness, they speak out. In illuminating darkness, they speak out. That's the celebration of the 5th chakra, our throats. The prophet speaks out. Propheto means to speak out. And they tell the truth that disturbs often. Another understanding of prophet comes from an American philosopher, William Hocking, who says the prophet is a mystic in action. The prophet is a mystic in action. And so the role of contemplation, but also the role of awe and wonder, the via positiva and the negativa, they feed us, they nurture us to be prophet, along with, of course, imagination, the via creativa. the way of the prophets.
Okay, and I'm going to turn it over to whoever's going first
Carolyn.
on content.
Carolyn, but we can, I don't know, maybe we can lose the discussion questions, but yeah. So yes, I'm Patty will be joining me in just a minute here. Thank you, Lori, so much for introducing our topic and our sacred readings that we had Matthew speaking. And actually, we're going to be using Matthew's voice a lot today because I'm going to be reading to you from Matthew's book, Prayer, A Radical Response to Life, which was originally published on becoming a mystical bear, but it was republished subsequently later. And when it was republished by the second, by Jeremy Tarter Penguin, they changed the name of it to Prayer, A Radical Response to Life. And in it, he talks about mysticism and prophecy and how to develop our capacities for prophecy. So I thought I'd read just a little bit about what he says about that. He says, in regards to prophecy, actually, a lot about prophecy is about learning how to say no. And so he says it's one thing to develop our powers of saying yes to life, of enjoying it, of deepening our awareness and appreciation of it, of rendering ourselves honest in face of it and open to a deeper conversion by it. But it's another thing altogether, and a much neglected one, to develop our capacities to say no to the enemies of life, the death elements in our culture. A positivist philosophy combined with a sanctification of obedience and a parading of piety has consorted to convince us to feel compunction or a sense of uneasiness when we raise a negative voice. In fact, there's no evidence that Jesus felt guilt at driving money changers out of the temple or at berating the hypocrisy of the guardians of the Jewish theocracy. In fact, the power of saying no is very often the power of the Spirit. Before one plants, one turns over the soil. And so we learn that being a prophet, first of all, is learning how to say no to things. But Matthew also talks about how important it is to identify where are the evil spirits. And in fact, he talks a lot about how the evil spirits reside in our institutions. He says, where are these evil spirits, those that interfere with life as a gift in my culture at this time? Well, these hard questions need to be put to our institutions. What's happening with our educational systems, our reformed traditions, our reformed systems? Is there justice, in fact, in our judicial system? In fact, are we centering on the common good? So these are really important questions for us as prophets and hard questions for us to answer. He also talks about the need to learn to step back, to relearn outrage and love, and reminding us that outrage comes from that third chakra, the power chakra, and love from the fourth chakra. Proper consideration of one's prophetic vocation may well demand a temporary withdrawal, a stepping back for a better and freer vision from institutions or cultures of which we are a part. If we are truly interested in developing our prophetic powers, then this freedom to step back is not a luxury, but a necessity. A prophetic call is a one deep within us, and it demands some time and space for itself, not only to recollect, to get perspective, but also to breathe freshly in order that alternatives might be born anew. And so this decision to step back is also, in fact, a prophetic no to the status quo. And finally, he talks about how we must develop our capacity for outrage and adult anger. For the relation of love and anger is inextricable. Anger is as sure a signal of love as is smoke is of fire. Where one's capacity to become outraged at injustices is smothered and barely smolders, so does one's capacity for loving justice. It follows then that the development of the prophet in each of us waits for the development of the mystic in each of us. With growth in our powers to love life, will advance our urge to share it and wrestle with our enemies, Adult anger is not buckshot anger, exploding in every direction, but in fact, it's finely aimed and honed anger arising from a care for the beloved, not from an overly sensitive or hot-headed reaction to inconveniences. One's care for life fully lived can surely hone one's capacity for anger so that it finds a productive and creative channel in which to accomplish its work, which is a great work, facing down life's demonic and powerful evil spirits and principalities. To develop in love of life, to enjoy it more fully, to allow our mysticism, its rightful preeminence, is in fact to develop ourselves as a prophet. So that's what Matthew has to say in his book, Prayer, Radical Response to Life. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Patty.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. I was struck by how it is that there's a connection between mysticism and having the energy to be prophetic. And I think that Matt points out in one of his daily meditations in 2022 how ironic it is that cosmonauts from all countries, not just US cosmonauts, have become mystics without even trying, without even thinking about it. It's what they saw, it's what they experienced. And so he has a quote from a Russian cosmonaut, Vladimir Shatilov, who says, "The boundless blue sky, the ocean which gives us breath and protects us from endless black and death, is but an infinitesimally thin film. How dangerous it is to threaten even the smallest part of this gossamer covering, this conserver of life." And another astronaut, a German astronaut, Ulf Merbold, said, "For the first time in my life, I saw the horizon as a curved line. It was accentuated by a thin stream of dark blue light, our atmosphere. Obviously, this was not the ocean of air that I had been told it was so many times in my life. I was terrified at its fragile appearance." And so these stunning insights into how fragile and precious Gaia is and all of life on the planet leads these cosmonauts and the rest of us who listen to them, who hear what they have to say, to understand that ecosystems and all of life is precious. It's not a foregone conclusion that it's going to last past any number of insults. And so that is why we would have the energy to say, we don't need tar sands anymore. We don't need 600 AI data centers so that we can make funny pictures and use stupendous amounts of energy and water, precious water and precious energy to do frivolous things. So, because they're harmful to the environment, they're harmful to the planet, they're harmful to that infinitesimally thin, precious line that keeps us from losing our atmosphere. So that's another warning they have, to cherish what we love and to work for it and to fight for it. That's the prophets. Thank you. So we should now go into small groups, I think, with our questions, right?
Charlie, what about Charlie speaking?
Oh, I did.
I just very quickly, I just wanted to say, from the Irish Driox tradition, where we believe that the role of the prophet or fad is to be anviren in agath in soul, which means the truth standing in the face of the world. And it is through the words of the fad, of the seer, that we are to use them like a scalpel to bring healing to the world. That sometimes things have to be uprooted and dug up, but in all things, we are ever striving for peace and peacemaking, and to make healing and wholeness the end result of what we are doing. And that image for me of the voice of the prophet as the healer, who sometimes has to cut out a little bit so that the rest can live. That is such a powerful image for me, and to me, the heart of what it is to be a prophet. And so, let's see, who is it? Lori, who's doing the intro to the questions?
I can do that.
Or Patty?
Thank-
It says
Thank
Patty.
you. Thank you. Yep. Unmute, please, Patty.
Yes. Am I doing the intro to the questions? How are you acting as a prophet, and how can you be a spiritual pyromaniac, spreading spiritual fires of justice? So those are the questions we'll be discussing, and the guidelines for our discussions, as ever, are respect. Do we have the respect guidelines? Lori, as a slide? There we are. Take responsibility for what we say and feel without blaming anybody. Use empathetic listening. Be sensitive to differences in communication styles. Ponder what you hear and feel before you speak. Examine your own assumptions. Keep confidentiality and trust ambiguity, because we are not here to debate who is right or wrong. So Lori will break us up.
I'm going to break us up into 3 groups.
Good. Then that'll be good. And we'll have about 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So that's basically what this says. Zoom is going to randomly assign you to a group. If you don't want to be in a group, you can decline. So we'll spend a few minutes discussing. All right. So I'm going to open the rooms.
Great. Thank you, Lori.
Everybody else should be back in about 12 seconds. And you're on mute, Lori. Mm. You're still on mute, just so you know. Well, there's Charlie, yay.
Everybody's back.
Welcome back, everyone, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your time talking with each other about how you're acting as a prophet and your ideas around our content today. If you get a chance and you wish to send us some love, some money, or anything else that you think we could benefit from, maybe a poem, or maybe you want to be active in a service. These are things we're really interested in having people join us. So I think Lori is going to be showing you at some point our the slide for the donation piece, which is what I'm talking about. If you do want to write a snail letter with a check, you can mail that to us, but most people just go online and you can just click on it, donate sign on the cscommunities.org website. So I know Lori's working hard to get that slideshow back up. But I think we probably can move on. And due to the hour, we will just bypass any more body prayer. Sometimes we'll do it if there's a little time allowing, but we're past the time. Hopefully you'll remember our body prayer together. And with that, I think, Lori, it turns back to you.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good, good, good. Okay, at this time, we are going to, as we leave each other, bless each other before we do so. So please place your hands over your heart and repeat after me while you're muted. The truth of my being is as radiant as a star. The love within me is stronger than any other force in the universe. I am a beloved blessing of the Creator. Aho, blessed be. Amen. All right, now turn on gallery view so that you can see everyone. Keep one hand over your heart and extend the other so that we can all bless each other as we leave this circle. And repeat after me. The truth of your being is as radiant as a star.
The truth,
The truth of your being is as radiant as a star.
The love within you is stronger than any other force in the universe.
the love with
The love within you is stronger
Stronger
than
than any other force
Universe.
in the universe.
You are a beloved blessing of the Creator.
you
are a beloved blessing
Of the Creator.
Aho,
Aho.
blessed be.
Amen.
Blessed be.
Oh, blessed me.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as we come to the end of our time together, please take your candle and transfer the light to everyone from your heart. Send it forth to bless those who need blessing. And now extinguish the flame, even as our connection continues in spirit. Aho.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
wow. Mm.
Okay, I'm going to turn off the PowerPoint if I can, and all we will be able to do is see each other, which would be
And turn off the recording.
okay. I'll do that too. If I can find the key for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Recording, stop.
Well, thank you all for coming, and Cheryl,
Thank
very
you.
good to see you too. Thank you for coming, each one of you.